Sensational.
Comment and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Tonight I saw the latest from A24, The Iron Claw, directed by Sean Durkin, starring Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Harris Dickinson. The story of the Von Erichs family and the triumphs and tragedies that they had to endure throughout their professional wrestling career. If you know anything about the true story of this movie, you know that you are in for an emotionally devastating time. It is one of the best wrestling movies that I feel has come out, and it is one of the best movies of the year. Holt McCallany is this father figure who rules the house with an iron fist and shows no remorse of toxic masculinity. Zac Efron's performance along with Jeremy Allen White is truly amazing in this as well, and the way that all the brothers in this movie had to train and get into their physical physique for this is truly amazing as well. You're going to be heartbroken by the story of the bonding of the brothers and all the tragedies that had to go with it, but The Iron Claw is a 5 out of 5 movie for me. It is a top 5 movie for sure for me. This movie will be out December 22nd, and I think AMC is also having early screenings for it on December 13th. If you want to be emotionally devastated, check this movie out. I loved it.
Here is my honest and spoiler-free review of The Iron Claw with Zac Efron. So this movie is an A24 film, and you guys know I absolutely love A24, considering Talk to Me is my #1 film by them. Let me just say that Zac Efron has earned a newfound respect from me. Zac Efron plays Kevin Von Erich, one of the Von Erich brothers who were very, very well-known wrestlers back in the 80s. Now, mind you, before going to see this film, I didn't really know much about the Von Erich brothers. I went because my husband loves wrestling, and he got me into loving it, but as far as the Von Erich brothers, I didn't know jack diddly. The film is, without a doubt, a 10 out of 10. The only thing I didn't like is who they casted for Ric Flair. I felt like it didn't look like him, and it really wasn't kind of like his demeanor. I just thought they could have done better with, a better looking actor that looked more like Rick. But other than that, this film is full of heartfelt emotion. There are some dark sides to it. There are some happy sides to it, but a lot of it is dark. I really did love who they cast for the Von Erich brothers, as well as the dad and the mom. Now, I will say, if that's how the dad really was in real life, then I really, really feel bad for these brothers. Rest in peace to the 3 brothers that did pass on. This movie is a very raw and real portrayal of their lives. I loved the cinematography, the lighting, the acting, everything about it was spot on. If you love wrestling or even just love Zac Efron, I do recommend this film. Again, 10 out of 10.
Zac Efron is not in your best actor conversations. What are you doing? You've got to talk about The Iron Claw. It was so good. If you haven't already seen it, do yourself a favor and go see that immediately, because this is not your typical sports drama. Action, the wrestling, all of it was so well done. The cinematography made everybody look badass. I was already excited for it because Zac Efron and Jeremy Allen White, you have my attention. But I was not prepared for just how fucking powerful Zac Efron's performance was in this film. You could see the entire story unfolding just through his eyes alone, and every line in his face was like adding to the emotion. So can we talk about how beefed up that man is? He looked like the fucking Hulk. You're wondering, what is this movie really about? It's based on a true story. I know all of that. It's totally okay. I knew nothing going into this. So we're following the Von Erich brothers. We're a family of wrestlers. It was even the family business, but tragedy struck them around every corner. So I'm obviously not going to spoil what happens. If you can, refrain from finding out the truth of what happened, because I went in completely blind and it was shocking to me. But essentially, this film explores the impact that those tragedies had on their careers and family alike. The most crucial part of this film for me was the fact that it felt like they were all family. The casting in this was insane. Tell me that these people are not brothers in real life. They were so in tune with each other. Throughout the film, I couldn't help but look for the subtleties within their interactions with each other. It would be like a quick glance, a touch on the shoulder, and it would just make up this really close relationship that I don't think I've ever had, and it made me want that. Iron Claw also did a good job of exploring toxic masculinity and the way they were raised and how that followed them into adulthood. What really makes a man? Is it showing no weakness? Is it being tough in the ring? Or is it protecting your family? I just can't emphasize enough how fascinating the story was, and I cried so many times I lost track.
Last night I watched one of the best movies of 2023, one of the saddest movies of 2023 about a real-life tragedy. And that movie was The Iron Claw, which is a biopic about the real-life tragedy of the Von Erich wrestling family. And when I tell you that I was not prepared for this movie going in, I was not prepared for this movie going in. No, I wasn't super familiar with the Von Erich wrestling family, and if you're someone like me, keep it that way, because it makes the emotional journey of this film that much sweeter. And this is probably one of the most painful yet powerful biopics that I've ever seen. This movie does an excellent job in building you up just to break you down to your core. And that's when the emotional gut punches hit. It's emotional damage after emotional damage after emotional damage. To be honest, I've been kind of going through a rough patch in my own life, so this is the perfect film. It hit me at the right time, and it's a film that really just makes me appreciate life. Move over Troy Bolton, because Kevin Von Erich is Zac Efron's best performance I've ever seen. It's a performance that, at least in my eyes, throws Zac Efron's hat into the ring of Oscar contention. While his accent is a little shaky at times, he delivers such a sublime performance. Everyone owes Zac Efron an apology and a hug. But really, the entire cast that makes up the Von Erich family and their extended family is incredible. Can we cast Jeremy Allen White into a stable family for once? But he does a phenomenal job as Carrie Von Erich. Paris Dickinson and Stanley Simon round out the Von Erichs playing David and Mike. And really, to me, this is where the movie shines in the building you up stage, because you just can't help but love the Von Erich brothers and their relationship with each other. And overall, they were just perfect as the Von Erichs. Chris Von Erich does not make an appearance. They wrote him out of the script. Holt McCallany kills it as Fitz Von Erich, where my Mindhunter fans at. But Maura Tierney's more subtle emotional moments got me, where my Liar Liar fans at. And Lily James is perfect. It's Lily James. All in all, the Iron Claw does a wonderful job in telling the Von Erich story, their rise to glory, and then their extremely tragic fall. I'm telling you right now, you're not prepared for this movie. You gotta be some kind of monster to not tear up. There was a moment in the movie when I was like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna tear up. I'm pretty strong. I'm a man, right? There's a scene towards the end of the movie that got the tears to flow a little bit. But then they follow that up with another scene where I just got the Niagara of tears falling down my face. I was a mess. And you know what? I don't care. It's good to show emotion. That means you're alive. There are no spoilers, but all I'm gonna say is, I used to be a brother. Let this film wash over you into a crescendo of emotions. I gave this film 5 stars on Letterboxd. It's seriously that good. But let me know your thoughts. You're gonna be checking out The Iron Claw when it comes out in theaters on December 22nd. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and as always, like and follow.
Well, I just got back from seeing the Iron Claw Von Erichs movie, and here are my quick thoughts. Overall, I thought this was a great movie. It was well written, it was well put together, it was well edited, and it was well shot. The cast had great chemistry, and you could tell they all loved working together. Zac Efron, though, stood out above the rest. I think Zac Efron had a career-defining role here as Kevin Von Erich, to where at least he should be nominated for a couple different awards. The one big lingering thing is the omission of Chris Von Erich. You would think that the 6th Von Erich boy was never even born. If you're not a big wrestling fan or don't know the story of the Von Erichs, you're probably going to really like this movie, maybe even cry, like the lady sitting next to us. If you do know the story of the Von Erichs like I do, you're going to walk out going, that was wrong, that was wrong, that was out of order, and that was not right. Overall, I would give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. Can't even give it a 4, though, because the portrayal of Ric Flair. The guy that played Ric Flair seems like somebody that's never even seen or heard a Ric Flair promo. Couldn't even do a woo.
Craw.
Bye, Felicia.
Be the best you can be. Love your family, love your friends. Spread love, not violence, not this virus. As always, peace.